Once upon a time, there was a little boy called Silly Billy. The morning began with a sky that looked like it had been washed in weak tea, the kind that Gran always said was more water than leaf. Mum stood at the kitchen window, arms folded, watching the clouds gather like gossiping neighbors. "Billy," she called, "if you want to help your dad, now's the time. That fence won't paint itself." Billy, of course, thought this was a challenge. He puffed out his chest, grinned his cheeky grin, and declared, "I'll paint it faster than Dad can say mind the drips." Dad, already outside with a tin of paint and a brush, chuckled. "Careful, lad. It's not about speed, it's about covering every inch properly." Billy nodded solemnly, though his eye sparkled with mischief. He had no intention of painting slowly. After all, he'd heard grown ups say a quick job is better than a sloppy one, though he wasn't sure why they laughed afterwards. Sulky the cat sat on the garden wall, tail flicking, unimpressed by the whole affair. "Don't look so smug," Billy muttered. "I'll show you what a proper lick of paint looks like." The phrase made him giggle. He imagined actually licking the fence, which seemed both silly and slightly disgusting. Dad dipped his brush carefully, but Billy plunged his in with gusto, splattering his dungarees and leaving a streak across his nose. "War paint," he shouted, charging at the fence. Mum sighed, but her lips twitched. "Just don't get it on the roses." Billy winked. "Don't worry, Mum, I'll keep it straight and stiff." Dad nearly choked on his tea, while Billy, oblivious, began his furious strokes. The storm clouds rumbled approval. Just as Billy was finding his rhythm, up, down, splat, splodge, there came a triumphant crow. Jock the cockerel strutted into the garden, chest puffed, feathers gleaming like he'd polished them himself. "Perfect timing," Billy said. "You can help me finish before the rain." Jock tilted his head, eyeing the paintbrush. With a bossy flap, he hopped onto the fence. "Careful," Dad warned. "That bird thinks he rules the roost." Billy laughed. "He's just here to lend a hand, or a wing." Jock pecked curiously at the wet paint, leaving a streak across his beak. Billy howled with laughter. "Now you've got a proper brush stash." Mum groaned, but Dad chuckled. "Better than a paint job on the curtains." Jock strutted along the fence, leaving feathery imprints that looked suspiciously like decorative flourishes. "See, Dad? He's adding style," Billy declared. "It's called free-range painting." Dad muttered something about foul play, but his grin betrayed him. Billy worked faster, racing the bird. Up and down, in and out, nice and steady, he chanted, which made Mum cough into her sleeve. "Honestly, Billy, mind your phrasing." Billy blinked innocently. "What?" "I'm just keeping it straight." The storm clouds darkened, but Billy's strokes grew bolder. He was determined to finish before the heavens opened. Jock crowed again, as if to say, "Hurry up, lad, or you'll get caught with your brush out." Grandad shuffled into the garden, slippers squeaking like a secret joke. He carried a magnifying glass and a mug of tea that had already gone cold. "What's all this racket?" he asked, peering at the fence. "Looks like you're giving it a good going over." Billy beamed. "I'm nearly done, Grandad." "I'm quicker than Dad." Grandad chuckled. "Aye, but remember, fast strokes don't always mean a lasting finish." Billy frowned. "But Mum said I had to get it done before the storm." Grandad leaned closer, lowering his voice. "Sometimes, lad, it's not about how fast you get it up, it's about how well it stands the test of time." Dad spluttered into his tea, while Mum turned pink. Billy, of course, nodded earnestly. "I'll make it strong, Grandad. No drips, no gaps." Grandad patted his shoulder. "That's the spirit. A good fence keeps things in, and sometimes keeps things out." Sulky the cat yawned, unimpressed. Billy painted with renewed determination, his strokes more careful now. "See," he said proudly. "Nice and even. No one can say I don't know how to handle a big job." Jock crowed approvingly, though whether at Billy's progress or his own reflection in the wet paint was unclear. Grandad chuckled again. "Well, lad, you've certainly put your back into it. Just don't forget to clean your brush afterwards." Dad nearly dropped his mug, while Mum muttered something about boys and their tools. Billy, oblivious, grinned. "Don't worry, Grandad. I'll give it a proper rinse." The first fat drops of rain splashed onto the garden just as Billy slapped the final stroke across the last panel. "Done," he shouted, arms raised in triumph. The fence gleamed, wet with paint and soon to be wetter with rain. Mum hurried out with a towel, dabbing at Billy's face. "You're a sight," she said, though her eyes shone with pride. Dad clapped him on the back. "Well done, lad. You finished in record time." Billy puffed out his chest. "Told you I could handle a big job quickly." Grandad chuckled into his beard. "Aye, but remember, sometimes it's not about speed, it's about stamina." Mum rolled her eyes, Dad coughed into his sleeve, and Billy just grinned, not catching the double meaning. Jock crowed triumphantly, flapping his wings as if to claim credit. Sulky slunk under the garden bench, unimpressed by all the fuss. The rain came harder, but the paint held firm, shining proudly against the storm. Billy looked at his work and felt a warm glow in his chest. "See, Mum? Even the rain can't wash it away." Mum kissed his forehead. "That's because you put your heart into it." Dad added, "and a fair bit of elbow grease." Grandad nodded. "A job well done, lad. You've built more than a fence, you've built a memory." Billy smiled, cheeks rosy, socks mismatched, paint on his nose. The storm raged, but inside the garden everything felt safe, silly, and strong.